So today, on a more serious note, we're going to look at Mark 5, 1 through 20. As I always say to my students, did I say that we're looking at Mark 5, 1 through 20? 1 through 20, Mark 5. Yeah. They say if you say something 3 times, people will remember. Was that Mark 5? Yeah, that was Mark 5. 1 through 20. Undoubtedly some of the words. What was that? All right, so here we see Jesus coming in on a boat, and he is going to be restoring and exorcising a demoniac, somebody that's possessed with demons. They went across the lake to the region of the Gerasenes, I'm sorry. When Jesus got out of the boat, a man with an impure spirit came from the tombs to meet him. It was a nice welcoming committee. This man lived in the tombs, and no one could find him anymore, not even with a chain. For he had often been chained hand and foot, but he tore the chains apart and broke the irons on his feet. No one was strong enough to subdue him. Night and day among the tombs and in the hills, he would cry out and cut himself with stones. When he saw Jesus from a distance, he ran and fell on his knees in front of him. He shouted at the top of his voice, "What do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? In God's name, don't torture me." For Jesus had said to him, "Come out of this man, you impure spirit." Then Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" "My name is Legion, for we are many." And he begged Jesus again and again not to send him out of the area. A large herd of pigs was feeding on the nearby hillside. The demons begged Jesus, "Send us among the pigs. Allow us to go to them." He gave them permission. And the impure spirits came out and went into the pigs. The herd, about 2,000 in number, rushed down the steep bank into the lake and were drowned. Those tending the pigs ran off and reported this in the town and countryside, and the people went out to see what had happened. When they came to Jesus, they saw the man who had been possessed by a legion of demons, sitting there dressed and in his right mind. And they were afraid. Those who had seen it told people what had happened to the demon-possessed man, and told about the pigs as well. Then the people began to plead with Jesus to leave the region. As Jesus was getting into the boat, the man who had been demon-possessed begged to go with him. Jesus did not let him, but said, "Go home to your own people and tell them how much the Lord has done for you and how he has had mercy on you." So the man went away and began to tell in the Decapolis, which is east of the Jordan River there, occupied by the Romans, how much Jesus had done for him, and all the people were amazed. So there's a couple of things that that kind of struck me in this one. Number one, many demons in this man. His name was Legion. Many demons inhabited him, and they possessed him. These demons recognized who Jesus was in an instant. And the actual person, not the demons inside, was a driving force in going to Jesus and begging him for help. And, the demons, like I said, recognized him immediately. I think to myself, if demons would be around us, and they certainly are at any given time, angels and demons, both. But would the demons recognize you as having Christ in you? Would they know that? Would they go up to you and see you as a threat to them? Or would you just be considered family? When you think about it. And so they go into the pigs, and there were about 2,000 of the pigs. You see, these pigs were, when the Greeks took over, they were worshiping Zeus in the temple, and it was, definitely a sham to us Jewish people. And not big with pork and so there were a lot of pigs that were being sacrificed to Zeus in the temple. And that's why there were so many of those pigs there. And then when they went into the pigs, some versions will say they ran off a cliff and into the water and drowned. You see, pigs can't swim. I don't know if you knew that. If you're Europe on your pig trivia, they can't swim. They did all drown. But I just think that the most important thing is the recognition part. Do people even see that Jesus is in you? Get along with demons. Is your life so transparent that they don't have to ask? And if it isn't,
yes.
Good, I'm glad. If it isn't that transparent, that evident, that it's not that evident, maybe you need to beef it up a little bit. You need to be following what he's saying to do. Maybe read the book and internalize it. He gave you his word, he is his word. And he inhabits us. And like Mary said, he gives us authority. So when we speak, there's power because Yeshua is in us through the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit. Yeshua. Mashiach. God bless his readings today. Let's at this time have a prayer for those people that are in need. Yeah.
So the man was cutting himself, and he was physically manifested with demons. And we know through science that the way our mind works, when the settlers went west on the Oregon Trail, they cut these ruts in the roads to try and build these mountains. And if you try to go off of that rut, what would happen because of the rut is your wagon wheel just falls back into that rut. It's very hard to get out of that rut. How many of us mentally are cutting in our mind things that have happened to us, things that Satan has said about us, and we're cutting that back in our mind, and we're saying, how do I get out of that? Jesus is the way out of that. We cannot do mentally what the demons did to him physically.
Yeah, that's a great way. I think also at the end of the story, he wants to go with Christ. He wants to be with the disciples. And Christ says, no, go back to your own town. The people that know you, that are familiar with you, they're just going to be your testimony because they know what you were like. They will know that a miracle had to take place. It had to be God. And so I think that's a great point that Christ sees us as a new creation. He's not that demon-possessed man anymore. His testimony is evidence of